Let's go! Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment with Hall of Fame College Football. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Glad everybody's in here. Been a wild day in Oklahoma football land, hadn't it? I'm hearing lots of stuff about Caden Green and the ins and outs of everything. Good news is we're going to find out what this schedule is, how it's going to shake out, and we'll kind of go from there. Right now, Paul Feinbaum is on the show on there, and I'll tell you what, pretty wild show. I got some bumpkins out there in SEC land, don't they? Love it. I love it. What's up, everybody? Hankster, Mars Jam, Stephen G, Tiz, TJ Hamilton, Kim. Welcome into the show, everybody. Bagman and Chicken. Looks like they were in here a little bit earlier. We'll see if they're still here. Martin Nails, what's up, my man? Yeah. So Tiz, is that somebody we know and just changed the name, or? Yeah, the transfer running back. I guess he's from like Middle Tennessee State or something like that. I haven't heard a ton about him just yet, but I'll tell you what I have heard. Apparently, and I don't know what's happening yet or whatever, but somebody be trying to poach old Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State, apparently, which is funny. And then I saw Malik Murphy is in the portal, so not a huge surprise there either. Although I kind of figured he would have waited until after the I've kind of figured he'd waited until after. What's up, Sooner Freak? How you doing? Martin? Yeah. What do you have y'all heard all that stuff? Yeah. Sam Franklin. Mm-hmm. Hard to find film on YouTube. Yeah, you might want to, let's see. I'll see where I can pick it up. I'm sure it'll be somewhere up there. We'll be able to find it before too long. Let me check it out. Samuel Franklin. He's already got a OU video of him wearing OU stuff. And so far. Okay, just a second. The real SC will try to get the Transformer? Yeah, probably. Probably 1,411 TDs. I like it. I like it. No. Check it out. Coach is giving us instant updates on Notre Dame. Coach, you know the update I want? Do they have a new offensive coordinator yet, Coach? What's up there, Wilkerson? Until they get an offensive coordinator, I gotta bust his chops. SEC schedule coming here in about 4 minutes. They should start the program. Also, just to let everybody know, I will be on the Fanatic Sports Network scheduling show with those guys. Inkster, he's going to see that. I'll be on there on that scheduling show. Coach I, Stat Guy, and the crew. That starts at 9 Eastern. So right after it's over on ESPN, we're going to go through all of that, kind of take a look. So jump on there. Make sure you jump on. Check us out at Fanatic Sports. Should be really good. Let's see what else we got. Tiz. There we go. Yeah, you just got a new follower there, Tiz, on X. Thank you. Has OU scheduled OSU yet? We want to. They won't let it happen. But you know, it is what it is. Hey, you know, if we're talking about Ohio State, Coach, last time Oklahoma played Ohio State, they beat them in the shoe. Didn't lose to them, you know, at home. What's up, bro? How we doing? Mars. How's it going, man? Let's see. So where do you guys think? Okay, so here's the thing you want to kind of think about if we're looking at this schedule. And I think that the main thing we talked about, we already kind of know who it is, right? Obviously you're going to have road games against Ole Miss, Auburn, LSU, and Mizzou. Yeah, Mizzou. Home games versus the South Carolina Game Birds, Prairie Chickens, whatever you want to call them. Alabama and Tennessee, along with your preseason games or, well, early season games and possibly a late one against Maine. But you've got Temple on the 31st of August, and then September 7th against Houston, September 14th against Tulane, which Houston game, I guess either way. What do you mean chopped liver? I said hi to you. I said hi to you there. What do you mean chopped liver? What you talking about? Are you in here busting chops, Coach? What's the matter with you? Bishop Frank, what's up, man? Robbie? All right. No, you're not chopped liver, man. You're my boy. I said hi to you more than once. Let's see. All right. Now the Tulane and Houston games are kind of weird because it's I don't know who they're gonna have. I don't know who they hired as a coach at Tulane, but Willie Fritz, of course, is moving over to Houston from Tulane. So I guess that game is kind of the same deal. Either way. Yeah, of course I'm busting your chops. Of course you came in busting them too. That's what I do. This is what we do together. Bloody, what's up, man? Back to the woodshed. Back to the woodshed. All right, we're on here. Let's see what we got. Tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna bring it on over here because that way I don't have to watch it in the background. Here we go. Live. All right. Love you too, Coach. Love you too, Coach. Shout it, Parker. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout it, Parker. Steve B. Martin Nels. You think we'll go after the Georgia offensive lineman? I think they probably will, yeah. I would think so. I would think so. All right. We'll see kind of how this goes as far as how this is going to work. I'm thinking they're going to go week to week or whatever, but we'll figure it out as we go. I can't put it on the screen because it would get taken down immediately. So I don't want to knock that screw up the channel. I'm on 11 himself. I think as we get into talking some of this, we'll get into talking a little bit about this Caleb Green saga that now looks. I'm going to just go ahead and say that any questions that I had regarding Bill Bedenbow, they're gone. This is a not just a money grab, but also a clear. And I don't mind that he wanted his money, but apparently even the money didn't matter. So to me, that's one of the things that this is one of the unfortunate causes or results of NIL, the transfer portal, so on and so forth. Getting feedback that the new receivers coach could be moving into the OC. Who is the receivers coach? Did you say again, coach? The experienced SEC member. Yeah, I've been there. I mean, I've covered it a little bit, but it's going to be fun, man. I think this is going to be a great first season. It's going to be a welcome to the show. Welcome to the SEC. I think obviously with the road games that you have, if this gets stacked a certain way, where you have, I mean, the way that it popped up, they had it popped up over here on the, just on the regular schedule. I think up here, well, one of these sites. I think it was FBS something or other. But the way they have it, they had it like it looked like it was going to be 3 in a row on the road. I thought maybe they had released it early, but thankfully not. At Auburn, at LSU, then at Mizzou. That would have been fun. All back to back to back. So you're hoping that you don't get something like that where you get even 2 road games like that, right? Backed up. Ole Miss, something like that. But yeah, yes. There you go. All good, brother. All good. Oh, Mike Brown. Okay. Well, has he been an OC before? It's gonna be fun, man. Yeah, Fatty, I think this is something that I think a lot of people have to get their mind around. That I said it on the show yesterday. You're not going to get the toothpaste back in the tube. This is college football now. It's going to continue to change. So you're just going to have to, you love your Sooners, whoever your team may be, you're going to love them. So you're just going to have to suck it up and and realize that it's not the old days. And if you remember back, we always had some complaints about the way things were going then. You know, not a playoff. A lot of times you didn't get the best two teams playing at the end of the season, so it was what it was. Now you look at it in terms of, you kind of got to look at it in terms of, hey, it is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It does suck. Yeah. Should we expect it to be rough? Yeah, we should. We should. I think just like Martin said, you're going to have a tough stretch somewhere. I think everybody is going to. The one thing about the SEC is that everybody's got a schedule in the SEC. Now, last year, was it as top heavy as you're used to seeing? I think it kind of was, except for it was just some different teams at the top, and I think that's what you're going to see a lot of. You may end up seeing, I think you're going to see the same half of the schedule probably, or you're going to probably get half. But let me just put this out here real quick. I don't expect for Missouri to continue to be at the top of the freaking heap out there. They didn't really play the hardest schedule this past season. Tennessee, yeah, I can see them being kind of back. Yeah, Sipping Sooner had a really good show today. Texas gets Georgia after the Red River. Ooh, brutal. Love it. Yeah, yeah. So, Mom was talking about, kinda how dare they do that to Alabama, it sounded like just now, right? Let's see what you see who we play after Texas. That's freaking crazy. Texas gets Georgia after the Red River game. You know what though? Texas got the easier of the two schedules for sure for the first year, so it is what it is. But you know, um, it's gonna Georgia versus Clemson in week 1. That's gonna be a game, huh? Maybe it will be. All right. Notre Dame at Texas A&M in week 1. It's dropping now. They're starting the first week right now. Obviously, LSU and USC week 1. That's out in Vegas. LSU will be playing and breaking in a new quarterback. So will SC. I do too. Could be a big hangover for Texas. Yes, it will be because they're gonna get their ass kicked the week before that too. Yeah, it's right up there too. You're right. Coach, right there with you, man. Throw them down. We'll just leave that up there for a second. South Carolina at Kentucky in week 2. Texas at Michigan week 2. In the big house. Houston at Oklahoma, week 2, of course. Willie Fritz. That is definitely I think that talking about the Big 12 at all, not that I really care, but they're gonna Willie Fritz to the Big 12 is Houston. That's Houston making their claim on the conference. Bama at Wisconsin in week 3. Mm-hmm. All over it, bro. I wouldn't be surprising. I think you're gonna have one of those games early in the season for sure. Yeah, I can see that. Tulane at OU. Tim Tebow talking like it's still Willie Fritz coaching them. What we got? Showing high pool. Must be week 4. It looks like it's going to be Tennessee because they're showing height. Yep. Week 4, first game, Tennessee at OU. Tennessee at Oklahoma. That is the marquee game of week 4. Looks like open dates for Alabama and Georgia. Yeah. Wow, LSU's playing UCLA also. That's crazy. Levy gets UT Texas in week 5 on the road. Oklahoma at Auburn in week 5. Ooh. Wow. Georgia at Alabama in week 5. Kentucky at Ole Miss, Georgia at Alabama, Mississippi State, Arkansas versus Texas A&M. They're moving that one up. Amazing place for Auburn. Yeah. Hey, you better jump on and get some Louisiana Grill, bro. You check those things out. They're awesome. $100 off the Black Label line if you use our link. Shameless plug, bro. Shameless plug. Yeah. You know, but the good news is that you have Tennessee at home, you know. I think that's more of a to me, that's more of a important thing for Heupel, and, it's gonna be draining on him more than anything else, right? Mm, they should, but maybe. Levy versus Texas in week 5, yeah. That's the first one that they showed, and then it's OU at Auburn and Georgia at Alabama, week 5. That's a pretty marquee week right there. Oklahoma opening the SEC schedule, though, and that's gonna be a pretty good game, though, too. That will definitely be the marquee game of that week. Excited about the SEC. Me too, buddy. Yeah. Texas and Michigan. I think they play Ohio State next year or 2025 too. That was already set up. Week 6, here we go. Looks like OU's off this week. Yep, and Texas. So this will be the week before. Week 6 will be the off week for Texas and Oklahoma. So that means that week 7 will be Red River, which is right on schedule, right? Yeah, pretty awesome. Also that week, let's see. Also that week, you got South Carolina at Alabama, Ole Miss at LSU, Levy at Georgia, Mississippi State at UGA, Florida at Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Kentucky. Who cares? Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, it will be. It will be. It's also going to be kind of a measuring stick for them. They also have a new quarterback. So, you're going to have both teams breaking in new quarterbacks. See if Nico is everything that they have hyped him up to be. Same thing with our boy Jackson Arnold. So big deal there. I think that's going to be a big deal. All right, let's see. Let's move on. Week 8. We'll go ahead and just kind of see what happens next. It's pretty good games there in week 7. Let's go to week 8. Ooh. Alabama at Tennessee. Georgia at Texas in week 8. Oops. LSU at Arkansas, Texas A&M at Mississippi State, Auburn at Missouri, South Carolina at OU, Kentucky at Florida, and Ball State at Vanderbilt. So, yeah. Georgia at Texas. Big deal there. Hey, Charles Crow flies high. What's up, my man? Thank you for the super sticker. Yeah, it hasn't gotten too nutty yet, right? 5-0 going into week 6. I hope you're right. Georgia after the Red River is tough for Texas. Yeah, I don't know. Texas's schedule isn't as tough as far as the team's concerned, except that they have Michigan in the preseason. But then their scheduling itself is a little. Yeah, Stat Guy's gonna get that's. Apparently, we're gonna have to host Stat Guy at that, and Coach I might be there too. So, Shawty, you're gonna have to come on too. We're going to see what's up with that. Kentucky at Florida. Obviously, that's a pretty good one, too. All right, moving on. Okay, I don't think we've gotten to week 9 just yet. Actually, let me go back to this though. Okay. They haven't gone to week 10 just yet, so yeah, that's the whole thing. This is going to be insane. I think that what I've been getting at, Steven, is that you're hoping that you don't see a ton of those really, really crazy games, right? With Red River, Oklahoma turns around the next week after that and has oh crap. Just 1 second. I didn't get it, I guess. Give me just 1 second. They're going to commercial, so I'm gonna turn this down. Okay, so week 9, we're at Oklahoma and Ole Miss. At Ole Miss. Yeah. LSU at A&M, Auburn at Kentucky, Texas at Vandy, Arkansas at Mississippi State, and Mizzou at Bama. It won't let me screenshot that. What the hell? Dumb. Mm-hmm. Well, some of the olds are going to have to get out of there then. Okay, South Carolina. LSU scaring you? Probably so. Yeah, guys, if you guys haven't hit the like, we got 82 folks in here. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Make sure you have wiped your feet as you come in, please. Who replaced Drake Stoops as the most sure-handed go-to receiver? Good question. There's a lot of guys to do it. And here's the thing I would say about that, which we all are gonna kind of owe Drake a debt of gratitude for his leadership, and kind of showing you what it takes to be a leader. So to me, you got any number of guys. I think that as far as the slot is concerned, my feeling is that you want to see, I think you've heard a lot of people talking about moving Farouk to the inside and being the slot guy, particularly with having Andrell coming back. You've got Andrell coming back, and then you've got the new kid coming in Deion Burks, and he can take the top off as well. That, not to mention, obviously, Nick Anderson. Look, Jaden Gibson, Jacquez Petaway, You still, I mean, there's a lot of kids. The receiver room is nice and fat. I think that's a good thing for Jackson Arnold because you don't want to just to have to go to one guy. And that's not even to, look, all indications are that our new tight end should be ready to rock and roll right away. We'll see though. Let's see what they got. Oof. Okay, week 10. Week 10 is the Maine at Oklahoma game. Kentucky at Tennessee, Ole Miss at Arkansas, Florida, Georgia. Vandy, Auburn, and such. Okay, moving on. Week 11, Texas at Arkansas. Yeah, I saw that about Tawee Bryan. They're making a thing out of Texas and Arkansas, obviously, because of the fact that you've got the old rivalry there. I think Arkansas's basically beat them the last couple of times they played them too. So, oops. And it looks like OU. So, dang it. No, week 12 is Texas and Arkansas. 11 is OU at Mizzou. Why does that scare you? Screw Mizzou. What are you talking about? Nobody. There were good There's always good receiver rooms. I'm just saying there's no shortage of guys. And if you've seen much on, look, Andrew Anthony he's had a couple of touchdowns in the freaking college football playoff. He's no joke. Nick Anderson is the real deal. Jalil Farouk is the real deal. I think he's going to have, you move him on the inside, that gets him in space more, gives him more room to work. And then, when you start looking at Jaden Gibson, I mean, that's obviously untapped potential. He's done some things, but, you want to see more. Georgia at Ole Miss as well. Florida at Texas. Alabama at LSU in week 11. And so week 12, it looks like OU is off that week. Yeah, Oklahoma's off in week 12. You've got Texas at Arkansas, Tennessee at Georgia, Missouri at South Carolina, LSU at Florida, New Mexico State at Texas A&M again. Could that be another upset for the Ags, for the New Mexico State Aggies? And then week 13. Damn it. Trying to keep up with all this, guys. It's not that easy. Okay. Week 13, Alabama at Oklahoma. End of the year clash. A&M at Auburn. Ole Miss at Florida. Vanderbilt at LSU. And Mizzou at Mississippi State. Week 14, Oklahoma at there's your gauntlet. There's your gauntlet. So you go home to Alabama, and then the next week on the road at LSU, which could be a very important game for SEC championship, stuff like that. Did somebody just say run through Mizzou? What are you talking about, Steven? Did you get some HOF Mafia gear, bro? Oh, man. Hall of Fame Mafia gear on my head here, boys and girls. Seth, what's up, buddy? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look, that is, here's the thing. On your two, so you've got two home games that turn into, then you go on the road to a tough one. So that's the one thing I would say is that, okay, after the Tennessee game at home in week 4, then on week 5, you're on the road at Auburn, which if everybody, if Auburn is better because of Hugh Freeze, I'm not worried about Jordan Hare, but I think that Auburn is going to get better as Hugh Freeze. Okay. I'm not so much worried about Jordan Hare, but, obviously, because it doesn't matter to Oklahoma so much. Yeah, 2 bye weeks. That's the way they spread it out. But yeah, absolutely. This is the right thing to say right here. My name every year from here on out. We want LSU as our rival team. I think that the way that they've set up these rivalries in Texas A&M thinks they have a rivalry with them or something like that. You still got there's a rivalry between them and Alabama. I know they want to keep that, and it seems like they want to keep the one, maybe not the one with Florida, but they want to keep that one between Arkansas and then Texas A&M as well. So I don't know that, that when it goes to protected rivals, if it goes to protected rivals in a 6-3 schedule in the second year of being in the league, we'll kind of see what happens. But I do think that it's kind of a long shot for OU. If you believe what Ross Dellinger put out there, which it sounds like it came from the league. And that's kind of what pissed off Coach Saban, was that they were going to do that. He didn't like it that he had to keep all his rivals, which is kind of weird to me, right? But, it is what it is. Live. Yeah. You talking to me? Charles, you can you guys can obviously always send me an email, jw@hofmedia.us, and then I'm on Twitter as well. Yeah, that's the thing. It's so what I was saying, if you believe the one that Ross Dellinger put out there for the 6-3 or the 3-6-6 schedule model, it's going to stay Texas always as normal. You're going to add Mizzou, and then you would have Florida as a rival, protected rival. So, yeah. I'm not worried about Mizzou. They're good this year. They might be good in the next couple of years, but I don't see that really being. We could schedule OSU if they quit being You know what I'm saying? Floor ceiling. Yeah, floor ceiling. I've been saying, yeah, probably that. Even you would hope that it's here's what I'll say. But yeah, Devon Mitchell will be on the field this year, and I think Arnold hits him more than a few times. Look, hey, bro, Devon Mitchell's the real deal, Robbie. So floor ceiling, let's talk a little bit about floor ceiling. I mean, Wilkerson's got 8-4, 10-2. I think that's kind of been where we've been talking about and where we've been landing the last few weeks as we kind of look forward to this. Now, seeing what we see here, obviously you've got just 1 second. Let me take a picture. Shit. Oh. Well, let me screenshot it. So going 9-3 with this schedule. Okay. Look, I know people hate this. They hate it when you hate it when you hear it, and I haven't really been listening to it too much because I know where they're going to be. I got to tell you, this isn't a bad thing. Let everybody continue saying the things that they're going to say about Oklahoma and looking over Oklahoma, because this is, you know, one of those deals where you could definitely see them. Look, Oklahoma beat Texas this year, and they can call it a fluke if they want to, but if you go back and watch the game, they controlled the football game. They controlled the football game. They were the tougher of the two teams. So you can say whatever you want. 9-3 is a possible playoff spot. Shawty's got them at 9-3, 8-4, maybe 10-2 would be the top, if what you're saying. 10-2 would definitely be a playoff team. 9-3 is maybe a stretch, but it just depends on how you win that, right? Levy's going 6-6 at best. I think that's probably a little ambitious there, Seth. And if you notice, he got Blake Shapen for his quarterback. That's who he's bringing in the transfer portal. I would hope that he'll make him better, but I don't think much of Blake. Yeah. I don't know that it's definitely out. I think that it's going to depend. They're definitely going to lean heavy on. It depends on the rest of the league. I think, how many other teams are 9-3. And what is your 9-3? Who are your 3 losses to? Or whatever. I think that if you had, let's say, you had a win over Alabama or LSU or Ole Miss, depending on how that goes, a win over Tennessee, something like that. If you had a couple of wins over those marquee games, or maybe a road win, possibly. But look, these are the ones I don't like to see. 12-0 is not impossible. I think it's impossible. It's not going to happen. That's just that's not going to happen. And yeah, I think you're right, Stevie. I just did. It's JW at hofmedia.us. Yeah, I don't know that. I think that 12-0 is tough. I think he better. He better. Mm-hmm. Look, here's where I was kind of going with that before, and we can kind of, now that we know the schedules and stuff, we can kind of get off of this show for a while. We'll get back into more of it in a little bit, but now that you know what's happening with the schedule, here's the good news about what's going on with Oklahoma, and that is simply that you have Stutzman and Billy Bowman coming back, because Shawty's going to want to tell you, and we know this, the second half of the season was not good defensively. Everybody wants to put off a lot of things on Jeff Lebby and that offense. They continue to be one of the top 5 scoring offenses in the country. Top 5 overall total offenses in the country as well. You had to play better on defense at times and didn't. Now, they led the country in takeaways, which was huge, but I'm telling you now, you're going to have to definitely play better defensively in the trenches. Now, had you been going into this season with nothing but young guys, because you lose Bowman and you lose Danny Stutzman, your most senior guy on that defense is who? G-Baby, who hasn't played a lot. Obviously, guys like Trace Ford, who are from, but I'm talking about as far as, Trace Ford would have been one of them. But to be honest, there's just not a ton of returning talent that has a lot of experience on the defensive end. Is there a lot of talent? Yes, a lot of it. But to have to just rely on Kip Lewis and, Kanak in the linebacker position, that's tough. Danny's the one that kind of makes that team go as a defensive leader, right? It's very much important that you have that on the back end. Then you also have, hey, the last line of defense, having Billy Bowman out there and leading the country in interceptions the way he did, that's ridiculous important as well. Had to do it. Right. See, Bloody, I think this is tough. Our defense will get most of the wins for us. Well, that's a bad thing. If your offense doesn't go, you're in deep shit. You got to play. Look, let's not get it twisted. You still got to play offense. Yeah, I saw that too. Michael Van Buren. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. They're going to have to definitely lean on the portal. They're definitely going to have to lean on the portal. Hey, look, G-Baby he was supposed to be the one that last year too, bro. I hope that he is. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of David Stone, a lot of Jaden Jackson, a lot of Nigel Smith as freshmen. Don't be surprised, because the fact that you don't have a ton of depth the way that you'd like to there. And these guys, when you talk about Stoney and Jaden Jackson and really Nigel as well, these guys are coming in at almost at the weight that you want them to be at. And if you played at IMG, that is a football factory. They eat, sleep, and drink football. That's it. So they're getting them ready in that deal. Yeah. You have to worry about both lines. You got to worry about both lines. It's not just one or the other. We'll see how good BB is this year. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. A lot of people saying yesterday, why did you lose him? Some people were talking about that it was a money thing, fumbling the bag, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it was that. I think if you listen to what you're hearing from guys like Gabe Eichard, I've heard it from a few other places around the program. There were some demands, 2 sets of demands that were sent out to the NIL collective. And I don't know if it was the Crimson and Cream collective. I think it was. And they met them both. And they met the first one, and then he came back after talking to Venables, and essentially they were saying He came back with, you got to meet this number or I'm out. This is the number, X amount, whatever it is how Gay put it. They came back and hit that number, and then it looked like that was what it was. Then all of a sudden he's moving out, and two of the guys from the collective or somebody from the staff or something, they stop him and they're like, what's going on? You ain't going to talk to my dad. Talk to my dad. Not many people are allowed to talk to his family right now because he shut down his social media. But this looks like he was, whatever the thing is going out there, there's going to be, and this is going to be the thing that you're going to see. Some of this is just going to happen. And if that was what he was about and they met his number, then who's to blame? If the last thing that his dad apparently said on Twitter yesterday was alluding to Schmitty. If you can't handle Schmitty, the guy has trained 7 Heisman Trophy winners. Sorry. You know. He's one of the best O-line coaches in the country. And there is a reason to worry. Right now, it's an unproven line. It's an unproven line. I think that Grayson Halton's a dude also. Nigel talked about him whenever we had him. He was like, man, that dude's a stud. But the offensive line, you got a brand new quarterback. You got to keep him upright. And on top of that, you're going to, unless they get somebody in the portal that we can trust and believe is serviceable enough to be the backup, you're going to have 2 freshmen backing him up in your first year in the SEC. This is why that 10-2 stuff, you'd like to believe that's the case. But we haven't seen this offense together yet. And we liked our running back room. But do you love the offensive line? I mean, look, I agree with this. You cannot change your. Yeah. Well, I don't know that you already made a deal. I think that if somebody went over that number, this is what Teddy was saying, then good luck, because there's just no way it should have been. Now, they didn't say what the number was, and I haven't heard a definitive, but it sounded to me like it was in that $1 million range. 750 to $1 million, maybe. Look, there might be 2 or 3 guys in the country that are interior offensive linemen that are anywhere close to that, and they're probably both at Alabama or somewhere like that. Georgia. Maybe Texas, because that they immediately started paying that line. It is a business now. I don't have a problem with these guys getting paid. Apparently, well, no, it wasn't. Go for it, John. We'll throw that on you. Are you an OU fan saying that, or is it you're just in here trolling? Don't you have a Texas? Isn't there a Texas freaking stream out there? We don't want a max protect offense. Yeah. There's a lot to this to unpack on that, but apparently right now you're not going to do that. They're going to go year to year on it because you just don't know, but you're not going to make it. If you do that, then they're an employee of the school, and that's not the way they want to be right now. That would throw that in there. Now, if some of this legislation that goes through happens, that'll even go back and retroactively pay NIL to some of the guys that played in the past, then maybe. But yeah, only Texas goes 5-7. Mm-hmm. Again, guys, I think that we're looking at this. Nobody wants to call it professional football. I think it's headed that direction. But these kind of things, like where you have an obligation, quote unquote, or whatever, first and foremost, the obligation is we need to stop calling it NIL. because that's not what that is. An NIL deal is actually for you to publicize something and you get paid based on your name, image, and likeness, and doesn't have anything to do with the school. And that's where you have the disconnect. Because right now, yes, the coaches and everybody, they can help direct NIL funds to you. They can't be directly involved, but they can okay deals, help you with that, blah, 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 right? Particularly in Oklahoma. But officially, at this moment, the school is not involved in it. Are they involved in it? Of course. Officially, they're not involved in it. So you have no say on what they do. Now, the collective, of course, is an extension of the school, alumni, such and such. Kim, it's a contract for the advertisers, whoever, the collective, whoever wants to use you as an influencer, which that's the whole point, is that, and this is the part I understand about that part. Being an influencer, you're getting paid from brands to promote their brands through social media, through this, through that. You're not connected to the school. That's the way, and this is the way that the schools are protecting themselves from having to pay insurances, things. I mean, they've got certain insurances and things like that, but to where retirement and all this other stuff, when that starts happening, you are going to go into a full-on union versus like the NFL. You'll have a players union. That's what, and this is not where college football is ready to be yet, or they would be there. That's just the bottom line. That's not where they are yet. Do I believe that? Do I believe that's where we're headed? Yes, it is. That's where we're headed. Hey, sorry about that. But what I would tell you is that all right, I'm going to go back through here and we'll go through this one at a time. To your obligation, as that was where I started. That's not really the school cannot obligate you into anything at this point because the NIL cannot be officially connected to the school. So they're not locked into that. Okay. It is pay to play, no doubt. A&M's money is involved. I'm not saying that it's not involved. I'm telling you that officially it's not involved, guys. The contract is with the collective, correct? Stop. Hey. The fans are not being exploited. Because you know what? It's not on us. It's not on us. It sucks for the fans that you lose guys or this or that or whatever. We don't own these guys. We don't own our professional players either on the teams we like as pros. Stop thinking of it that way, guys. You don't own these guys. And I'm going to say this one more time. If you want to be mad at somebody, be pissed off at the NCAA and the schools for allowing it to get to this point. They could have had a handle on this shit years ago. Years ago. It has something to do with the NIL, but I think he wanted to leave. And it could be just that his parents are in the way. His dad's in the way. That happens. Look at Caleb Williams. Jason's funny. The kid is saying, talk to my dad. Sounds like a family decision, and he is following directions from family. Absolutely. Look at it. That's exactly what I was saying. They're in the way. Caleb Williams' dad, always in the way. And it's easy to push that back. it's not about money unless you find out that he was offered more money somewhere else. And if I don't have any reason to not believe Teddy and Gabe, it sounded to me like it would definitely be as high as it could possibly be, and nobody should have went over the top of it. Now, does that mean that they won't? Not necessarily. That, who's saying that they're hurting for money? Pretty clear indicator is someone in the chat is a troll. Sit they shit on OU and NIL. Who's doing that? Who's doing that, James? I really wish, James, I would rather you just come out and say what you're going to say instead of like cryptically, somebody saying this versus somebody saying that, like you did yesterday in the comments. Just say what you got. What do you want to say? Yeah, that's where I feel like fifth in the country in college money wise. How do you, according to who, Bloody? Correct. No, see, this is what I was saying, Shawty, is that it's not officially. This is where you can't really be all that up. I mean, look, you can be upset with them, but there's really no reason to like freak out too much about it because of the fact that it doesn't tie them to the school officially. Now, somewhere in there, in their contract language, I'm sure it's as long as you're a member of the Oklahoma program, blah blah blah. But really, I think that NIL really you could the same deal and leave and go to other schools if you wanted to at this moment, because some of these NIL collectives right now are connected to schools. Who's to say that they don't build a national one anytime they want to? You've got these these multinational agencies out there, and they're popping up by the day. And if they already have X amount of they've got a bunch of deals with brands, which, I mean, think about it. Caleb Williams is doing big brand stuff, Nissan and things like that. It's just what it is. Well, you guys got to be careful what you're asking for. How are the fans being exploited, Dalpozo? They're getting paid. It's the fans are not getting exploited. That's silly talk. Yo. Okay. Is that what you want to do? I mean, Kim, are you saying that's what you want to do? I'm going to catch up. Let me catch up here. The second Heisman, you mean? Why do fans take the sides of the owners of the schools? I have no idea. That's a great question. People pay attention to this one. Guys, they've been exploiting players forever. That's not necessarily true either. They also have oil companies involved. Yeah, we did. Listen to Shawty here. Shawty played college football before the NIL was out there. Now, Shawty, I'm not telling you to implicate anybody on anything, but I'm sure there were guys that were getting paid on that Georgia football team back in those days. Right? I mean, it is what it is. She was cutting out the cancer. Yeah, why not? Why not? It depends on how far you go. If you win the Heisman Trophy, you do certain things. I mean, and look, OU's a brand. Let's not get it twisted and act like Oklahoma's not a big brand, because they are. But that's the whole point, is none of this stuff is tied into the school all the way. So the people that want you to get locked into whatever it is with your school, it's a double-edged sword for fans, because you get so locked into people, the players, that you think that they belong to us now. We recruited them, they committed, they got to stay. It's no different than, look, we expect the same from coaches, but you don't get that. Most places never get loyalty from the coaches without money. That's it. They just don't. And that's the way you breed loyalty in, call it what you want, pro sports. All right, I'm going to stay out of that. You guys, TV contracts could do an NIL that could pay players. Well, that's what, and look, now, Kerwin, there's another good, this is another thing to look at, folks. The contracts, that's what they're trying to get, is revenue share. Now, there is some stuff out there. We're going to get into some of this over the next week or so. I want to get Jim. I don't know if Jim Williams is going to be available, because he's, having been in media for a long time, I think he's doing a lot of stuff with the war over in Israel, or in the Palestine-Israel war, whatever it is. But he is an expert on this stuff. Bomber and his crew are pretty good with what's going on with a lot of this stuff. They keep their fingers on that pulse of that kind of stuff. There's some guys out there that have kept up with this side of it a little more than I have right now. I've been staying stuck on what's going on with the actual season. I hate realignment and all that stuff. I obviously cover it because I have to, but I hadn't been in it that much. But here's the deal. What I can tell is this is some of the legislation / litigation that's going on right now that is going to force the hand of this. There's something going on in California that would it would essentially make players employees and be able to unionize and stuff like that. You have to see the writing on the wall 4 or 5 years down the line, and that's where they are. These monster TV deals, that's what you're going to run into. Okay? That's just going to be what it is. And so they will be sharing that money. But at that point, they become employees of the school. And this is where things get, hey, look, you want to keep the guys you want to keep, but there's certain guys as fans that we want to get the hell out of here, and you can't just cut them either. If they've got a contract, you're still going to pay it. Are you gonna have a salary cap? What are you going to do? There's a lot of questions that people want it. They want it the way they want it for the sake of the program that they love, but you're not going to like some of the repercussions of that some of the other things that come along with it. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I don't know what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. NIL is not the problem, guys. NIL is not the problem. Correct. Look, I said this yesterday, and I want to reiterate this one more time. If the difference between Oklahoma contending for a national championship and going 1-11 was Caleb Green, then you weren't where you thought you were anyway, as Oklahoma fans. Or Brent Venables or anybody. No one guy is bigger than the whole program. None of them. A quarterback, none of them. He's not even the left tackle yet. Yes, correct. Correct. Thank you. It's not paying more than that. It's not paying more than the NFL. It isn't. It's paying more than those non-guaranteed deals that you get in the 5th round and shit. Yes, they are. Facts. Is the business being loyal to you if they're not paying you correctly or not paying you what somebody else could? It happens whenever they allow them to unionize and the players become employees of the school. And this is not what the schools want. This is why the NCAA still exists. That's right. What? Oh, Jason White, yeah. Yeah, one of them there's a lawsuit out there right now that's trying to go retroactive for some of these guys to get paid where they, for some, I don't know exactly how it's going. I don't keep up with it a ton. Rep Bromar. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing about Rep Bromar was that the dude was, yeah, I mean, you're right, Stevie. And Shawty was right. Yeah, look, what do you hate about the NFL? Because that's what you're getting ready to have. And, look, what happens in the NFL when you pay all this money to one of these quarterbacks that go bust? Right? That all of a sudden they're trash. It handcuffs your program for a long time because you have a salary cap and you still have to pay that. All these things will end up coming with it. There's a price to pay for all of this stuff. And the price should have been paid a long time ago because they should have done the right thing if they were the NCAA and the schools and everybody else. I don't blame these kids, these players at all. If anybody's at fault, it's the administrations of these colleges, the NCAA, and the people that have exploited these players for all these years. They've been getting away with it. Now they're trying to unwind it all, and it doesn't look pretty. And the players always end up looking shitty every time. The thing with Caleb Green, some of them, look, guys, the way that parents get in the way of this shit all the time at the NFL level too. People that are involved with the player screw it up for the player almost all the time. Caleb Green probably just made a mistake with his career. Hopefully he catches on somewhere and he's okay. I don't hate the kid. I think that he's got people that are older than him and that he respects that are making terrible decisions for him. There's no reason for you to leave a blue blood program when you started 7 games as a true freshman. And they gave you everything your demands. They gave into his demands, and his parents just wanted more. That tells you it's not about Caleb Green. It's the new league in town, Kim. Mm. I think that Jackson's great. I think that he could have some growing pains though. You got to make the you've got to make the separation from salary cap in the NFL and the NCAA. It's not the same damn thing because it's not the school that's paying them. And you cannot cap what a kid makes off of endorsements. Right? Look, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, those guys have made more money off of their endorsements away from the game, double, triple. I mean, even guys like Tiger, he's a billionaire and he's only made 100 million, only I say, but only 100 million of his billion plus that he's worth came from the PGA Tour winnings. Michael Jordan at the end of his career, he was making 25 million a year. That's the most he ever made. He's still making 100 million a year in endorsements. He's a billionaire. You're never going to cap in, and that's what the NIL is supposed to be, is endorsements. Using your name, image, and likeness. It's never going to change that. Of course. Yeah. But again, you have to make the separation, guys. You got to make the separation. I'm trying to make you guys understand you have to make the separation. You have to make, it's not the school. Yes. There's a lawsuit out there, Mike. I don't have all the specifics of it. I was watching something on one of the shows I was watching the other night. I want to say might have been Josh Pate talking about it. Past players, if the lawsuit was to go through, it would probably pay some of the past players for particularly guys that got injured versus whatever. I don't know exactly what it is, but yes. Dude, they were good. No, you can't. All right. I can guarantee you that the schools are not the ones that want that. You're saying this, but that's not what they want. The NCAA, look at the next one, is stealing their money. The money that they're getting, they have allowed them to not, they've made it to where players couldn't get paid for their own jersey sales and all that other, autographs, whatever, all this time. A lot of the stuff that they're doing, look, and NIL means that you are trading your time, your stuff on social media, your name, image, and likeness for money. It's not for the freaking school. It's for a company out there that's paying you to promote their products. That's what influencing is. And for somebody to say it's got to be contractual, there's a contract between the player and whoever it is that they're endorsing. Guaranteed. The collective is generally a group of endorsers or a group of endorsement companies or whatever that want to use your group of influencers. And this is how much money we can get. They're putting it all into a collective and they divvy up the money amongst the guys that they can. But you're never ever going to be able to get in the way of that part. Never. The NIL and the school are separate. If you want to pay them as an employee to be a football player, which they do not want to do, then you got control over them. Until then, you don't. When was any commitment safe before? When was any commitment safe before? You're acting like the school is losing out on the, and the program is, but the school's not losing any money on this deal when they leave. What's up, chicken? Yes, that too. Yeah, I don't like it that he left either. Look, this is the whole problem with the whole thing is that you cannot, but all I'm getting at is you can't have it both ways. And I agree that it's a shame that his parents are. My problem is that it sucks that his parents are getting in the way, apparently. That's what it looks like. And you see this a lot, that somebody that is involved gets in the way. Oh, you're good, brother. Right. Yes. Yeah, true. But it depends on the situation. I mean, you don't think DG's got a good deal? Grass is greener over there. He made a ton more money than he was going to make at OU. Right. Correct. Keep you guys look at this one. Make sure you look at this one. Yeah, they did actually. They did. And so it's going to close up, I think. Well, you basically had 30 days. So it'll close and you'll have an extended period of time after the playoff, but it's only a few days after the playoff. So they'll have a little bit of time after that to get in it. Hit that like button. Thank you. Is it coming out? Is it coming out right then? Oh, dude, I'm going to get back into it then. Shout out to Buc-ee's. Shout out to Buc-ee's. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you. Let's get into all that. If you are not already a member of the Hall of Fame Mafia, please become one. We have a lot of these discussions and stuff. A lot of our Discord guys get it. A lot of this information, and we can kind of get through some things that you don't understand and stuff. It's a lot to try to sift through, and there's a lot of bullshit that goes on within the NCAAs. We all know. You only have so much time to do it in these settings, but by becoming a member of the Hall of Fame Mafia, our channel membership, which is as low as $2.99 a month, you can become a member of our Discord. There is members only content that comes out. And you'll get a lot more of that as the off season gets into going. We don't have an off season at Hall of Fame College Football, but so there will always be information out there. Now, like I said, $2.99 a month. The free way to help us is make sure you hit that like button and at least become a subscriber, if nothing else. We are less than 100 subscribers away from 3,000. We've done this in just over a year, which is exciting for the channel. Got a lot of good things coming up in the days ahead. You still have time if you are last minute shopping for Christmas. Jump onto our Hall of Fame Media Fanatics partner website, hofmedia.us/fanatics. You can get all licensed gear of your favorite team, whoever it is, up to 50% off is the deal today. You can still get it in time. In fact, I made an order this morning. You can still get it before Christmas it'll show up. I think the one that I ordered today was, I'm going to get it on the 22nd, and I'm in an area right now that it doesn't go out as quickly as some of the other places. So you still have an opportunity there. Make sure you use our login though, hofmedia.us/fanatics, up to 50% off. Helps the program as well. If you're looking for a grill, I saw somebody in there is going to get into the grilling season. $100 off everything in the Black Label line at Louisiana Grills just by using our link as well, hofmedia.us/Louisiana-grills. It's right above my head there. Don't forget about DevilDog's Brewing Beans Coffee, veteran-owned, serving veterans, premium coffee, fresh to your doorstep. When you make an order, they roast, grind, and ship it all in the same day that they receive your order, ensuring freshness. Your first order, use the promo code BOOMER to get 10% off all orders by using our link, hofmedia.us/coffee, gets free shipping. And every purchase, 5% will go to the Wounded Warrior program, which is the best thing about the whole deal. I love that part of it. We get a small percentage. It's so much more important that you get help for our veterans that need it, because this country does not do enough for its veterans. I'm so happy to work with DevilDogs for that very reason. Again, freeway, just hit the freaking like button. All good, right? All right. Let's see where we are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nike. Caden Green's, I don't know where he lands. Look, chances are he may not get the money that he thought he was going to get from Oklahoma, and they're burning bridges, that was, again, this is where you look, there's a grown-up side to all this, that it's a shame that grown-ups that don't know anything about business, which it sounds to me like he doesn't, if he's got his son going over there demanding this, demanding that, they meet the demands, and then you decide, well, let's check out this other thing. That means that you're taking too many damn phone calls. Maybe you should have an agent. Why you wouldn't have an agent at this point? Danny was talking about he has an agent. I know Dylan Gabriel has an agent. Most of these guys probably do. You better. What's up, Timothy? What's up, my man? Thank you, man. Appreciate you. They have a Nike contract too, but they don't have they're not going to have the kind of Nike contract that the owner's giving to the school that he went to. John Doe, you're killing me, man. Some of these things, I don't do that. Look, don't be dogging on these kids so much. I don't even think it's Caden Green's fault. It's his dad's fault for what's going on if it ends up not working out well. Does it suck for Oklahoma, and does that you don't have him? Yeah. But here's what I'm going to say one more time. Let me just repeat this one last time. If Caden Green was the difference between a national championship run and 1-11, then Oklahoma wasn't in the shape that you think they're in anyway. They just weren't. It's not that, and look, I don't agree with the way it went down, but it's not for us to decide these things. It's just not. Thank you, Purple Orca. Thank you. I don't know that he left for more money though. 4 or 5. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know that there was more money out there for him. I don't know that there was. I don't know that there wasn't, but I don't know that there was, and neither do you. It sounds to me like his dad is grasping for straws. Does he end up at CU? Maybe. Do I think that CU can afford to pay more? I don't know. Maybe. Can Oregon? theoretically, but don't make the mistake of thinking that they don't have just as much money at Oklahoma as any of these other places to pay certain people. If they were paying him above the value that you're seeing anywhere else, then or that they met his demand, which was more than they were expecting to have to pay. They met his demand, so it sounds to me like he's got somebody greedy in the family. I don't blame them for going and getting the best offer they can get because, like Shawty was saying, your career is over in the blink of an eye. It could be one snap to the next. It's over with. So you got to take what you can get when you can get it. Oh, yeah, probably you a few years away. Oh. That could also be part of it too. If he's homesick, whatever. I mean, Mizzou's not that. I mean, look, we're talking about it's still a couple of hours from where he's from too. It's like a 3-hour difference, I guess, but it's a big deal. Well, the way that it's played out, I doubt that they're gonna get more money from Oklahoma now. He left whenever he signed or they had a contract ready for him to sign that he hadn't done. They met his demands. That's part of it too, Tiz. You're right. No. It happens, guys. It happens. And again, I don't blame these players so much. Here's another thing that you need to keep an eye on because look, for everybody who wants to sit here and get all upset with players and stuff like that, they're grown men and they can do whatever they want, but this happens. And there's more guys in the portal now than there ever has been in the last few years since it's been allowed to happen. Only about 40% of these guys end up finding a new home to play at. Now, if you're like you saw, if you were watching the podcast on the prairie with Danny and those guys, I think it was yesterday. They were talking about how if you come from a place like Oklahoma, they're going to give you money to go play somewhere. But there's a lot of guys that go into the transfer portal thinking that they're going to better their situation and don't. Only 40% of the guys that get into the portal find another place to play. That's the number. That's the reality. That's right. And from 3 years ago. Yeah, everybody poaches. Look, that idea, the people here's the thing. It's so easy for guys like Lincoln and even, Drink or whoever you want to point your finger at. You could point your finger at Oklahoma too. You're never going to legislate it where kids can't pick up their phone and call their friends. Williams Nwaneri is always going to have Caden Green's phone number. And that is not against the rules. That's how you get around it. Tampering is just a word. It's just a word. Yep. Yeah, I'm not worried about there. Yeah. Look, I like that. I think that this helped a lot. Stutz and Bowman being back, plus the schedule. What's my prediction? Let's look at it. You've got win. First opportunity at a loss will be at Auburn on September 28th. Let's call that a toss up because of we'll see what happens. So that'd be a half. Texas, I'll never say that's a win. So they go in 1, 2, 4, 5. Win against South Carolina, at Ole Miss, toss up. So you're looking at like 6-1 there, 7-1. At Missouri, probably a toss-up for now, although I'd say that Missouri is never a problem for Oklahoma, and I doubt they will be now. So I'll call that. It could be a toss-up. No, I'm going to call that one a win, and then toss-ups with Alabama and probably a loss with LSU. 9-3. 9-3. 8-4 maybe. Yeah, kind of. All right. I've heard you already say that a million times. You better. The next time I see you say 6-7, you better back it up with what you're talking about, John Doe, or Mike's going to kick you out. Ooh, chicken going 11-1 with it. You got that much trust in Jackson? Okay. Let me get everybody else's predictions, and then we'll get out of here. I got to be on Coach I's show in about 20 minutes. I want to put a couple of things together and look at a couple of things. What time are you going on, Shawty? After Coach I or what? Get him, Mike. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Fuller. Yes. Adapt or get left behind. It's simple. You're right. All right, John Doe, you're gone. Get him out. You don't back it up with anything. You're a Longhorn fan. I believe that. Bye. 10-2, 10-2, 10-2. Ceiling at 12-0. Ooh, Stephen G. Possibly 9-3. Yeah. I'm not saying 10-2. I'm gonna say 9-3, 8-4. I like that too. Agreed. I like it, guys. I like it. Good stuff. See you when the bowl game hits. Are you going to the bowl game? Who is going to the bowl game? Alamo Bowl. Chicken, are you going? Bloody, what's your 10-2 the floor then? Ceiling is natty? Okay. Bloody's loving it. Kim, where are you going? I do like where the bye weeks are. You guys keeping an eye on D-Pool. Who is this guy? You're going, Stephen G? Nice. Chicken, you're going? Bro, Michael Hawkins is going to be a bad dude. Absolutely like that. Like it. 9:30. Okay. All right, guys. Love it. Well, what are you? Is there a up in the air segment to that there, chicken? Because I was going to tell you I can get. There's a couple of places we can get tickets, but it's there's a upper deck element that's like really cheap or whatever. Your brother already got some? Nice. Is Christina doing better? Our guys that play with the same intensity they have against Texas every single game and stay healthy to go undefeated. That's a tall task. It is. You're correct, Tiz. What was your prediction? Did you have one? You got a sweet? Damn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be good, but that you got to look at that schedule, guys. I mean, look, Alabama's not going to be a pushover whether it's at home or not. LSU on the road is going to be a night game at the end of the year. That's a tough place to call a win. Auburn is a tough place to call a win. If you call the rest of them wins, yeah, maybe you get to 10-2. But you're not even talking about Texas there. You know, Mizzou, whatever. I don't know that 10-2 for Tiz. Dwayne Johns 9-3 sounds about right. Yeah, that's where I'm at, 9-3. And I think that if you get 9-3, that's a hell of a season your first year in the SEC. Horns down. D-pool. Horns down. We have nothing to lose by rooting us on in the playoffs. Are you insane? Our dignity. No self-respecting Oklahoma fan roots for Texas ever. All right, gentlemen. I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys. Go over and check us out on Fanatic Sports in about 25 minutes. We're going to break down all the schedules, including this one. So we'll talk about some of it. We'll kind of jump in. Auburn and LSU going to be banged up before those two games. Yeah. Gotcha. Got it. Yeah. This guy's insanity, right? What self-respecting Sooner fan's going to ever root for Texas? Please do hit the like button, folks. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you. And hey, we'll see you on the next one.